Hi. Now, inclusion is a word we often hear. But the true question is, do we really take time to pause and see what that really means, especially at our workplaces? This is Speak Up Afrika. We bring you conversations to inform, engage, and empower. My name is Wendy Loyce. And to help me navigate this conversation today is a guy with a high sense of humor. By the way, before we started rolling, he got me nicely, and he's brilliant in his space. And he's just not living this by word, he's actually living this day to day. Mokaya, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much. I think finally I have an opportunity to speak up in Africa.
we will try and get the content home, because at this rate I am laughing out loud. Mokaya, thank you so much for making time to come and be here on our podcast. By the way, I think let me put it out there on this episode that the universe just aligned for us to have this conversation today.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sure.
We had no plan whatsoever, but again, the universe aligned, and I am truly grateful.
Yes.
So Mokaya,
Yes.
in inclusivity at the workplace, these are things that in boardrooms are really talked about. At conferences, what wanasema, we should incorporate, make our spaces more inclusive, even for people living with disability. How has that been for you? How far back can you look at it and say inclusion has been in your space?
Okay. I don't really know how where from which angle I should tackle the question, because mostly when I have a mic before me, I usually speak on behalf of. But now today, I think I'm just supposed to speak on my own behalf. So the inclusion space, I feel like we are yet to be accepted, the space, and mostly what has been happening is that we are just being tolerated. Okay. For lack of a better word, I think so. By the way, I'm also a content creator. So I switched to a contentment creator to speak on behalf of my people, because I realized that they need a Moses, and these people, I don't know if I've answered the angles you've.
Yeah, that we asked. I mean, that is true, because there are still gaps that can be filled and make the places better. From your perspective, from your experience, I like the way you've brought it, that you're also a content creator, you're a podcaster. What are some of the ways employers can incorporate this space and make it a healthier, better space for especially the people that you speak on their behalf?
Okay, I think maybe making the space to be more accessible and providing the necessary, like for example, if it's screen readers that we need, maybe when you're using our laptops, which assist us maybe in if you're doing your work in Word or Excel. Okay, so such small intervention can really make a difference. Yes.
I like your sense of humor. Were you this creative kutoka kitambo, or is it something that you've actually picked along the way, and then you can bring us to now your element of podcasting?
It's a bit unfortunate that even my answer is, if I go for my immediate answer, it also might sound humorous. It's unfortunate. So I don't know, for its own sake, acha niseme like maybe kazi ilikosa ikabidi mtoko mfani, but some have said that maybe when maybe sometimes life pushes you some direction, maybe the only result for you to try and make sense out of life can be just you being funny, and maybe taking that angle of life. At least you don't commit suicide.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true. And we've seen many creatives who anchor their creativity to loss of life. I know one of the top comedians we have, what inspired him to start is because he lost a friend, a very close friend. And he was like, you know what, me to create content. to make people's days better. So let me come to podcasting. All right. So your sense of humor is there. What inspired you to start having these conversations?
Okay, great. So actually, I was really confused. Immediately I finished high school. I finished high school. That's another story for another day in 2019. Then was just wondering what course am I going to take, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so so when I go to Form 3, what am I saying? Not Form 3, but third year in campus, I just realized, wait, whatever I'm doing is not bringing me fulfillment. And maybe I saw a gap in the sense that, like, I looked and so that person with disability, okay, I love listening to content, like maybe, right? Or so I looked and, like, I was like, I don't have any other person with disability that I would love to listen to. You see, like me, yeah. So I decided to be the person. So that is 2023. So I went and bought a lapel and a tripod. And imagine I started like that.
And that's how you've grown to the podcast.
Yeah,
now.
that's how I've grown to this space.
Okay. So that inspires you. You know, you are like, you need someone to listen to. That reflection, you gathered people around. What is this one story you've ever had from the podcast and the guests that you've had that really moved you and you were like, we need to advocate more?
Okay. Great. I think let's see. Okay. So I've had a number of stories, but mostly before maybe we get to the professional bit, I think I like the storyline that people have that have not been aired. That really moves me, you know. So like me, if I feel like when I tap into the stories, I think that is what I've done across all the episodes that I've done. Just trying to reach out for that story that has not been tapped.
Okay.
Yes, but okay, on the professional line of front, I've got some. I have a friend. I've not yet had have him on the set basically, but how do I put it? Um, I feel like I'm lost for words, but
That's okay. It's okay.
okay, like okay, most of us, unless maybe you are learned and maybe you get certified with papers, you cannot. An employer may not take you up or take you seriously. But now we have got very many of my kind who are so good at what they do, but they don't have papers. You
Yeah.
can imagine so where they are left. And so out here, and well, okay, huku nje basically, like if a regular person, if you have got, as long as you have skills, you'll be taken seriously, even if you don't have papers. So I don't know. I think that aspect moved me. I don't know if I'm digressing or what. Yeah.
No, you're actually right on track. I think we will need this part. Are you more comfortable in Kiswahili or just a mixture of the two is okay?
Mix.
A mix is okay.
Yeah.
So I will pick up the conversation.
Okay.
So Mox, allow me to call you Mox. You know, the conversations that you're having, even on your podcast, is more about advocacy, you know, because you're putting these stories out there for change, you know. What keeps you going? I know the beginning and what made you start Ilikuwa. You looked around, you didn't have people in the same space that you could listen to. But right now, what keeps you going to continue doing the advocacy work in your own space, element, and art?
I'm not yet there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not yet there, and that keeps me going. Yeah, like within me, you will make me quote the Bible. Like where there's no vision, people perish. So I have a vision, and it will sustain me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that keeps you going.
Yes.
Let's talk about the creative space. Do you think there's enough inclusion for people abled differently, for people with different disabilities?
No.
And how does that make you feel?
We don't have enough inclusion in this. You call it the what space?
The creative
space. That's partly the entertainment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So like I don't feel like we are really factored in terms of the entertainment, except maybe for stuff like music, that one which we have done traditionally, so that even maybe a person, when they see that you're blind, they just assume, oh, you're a musician, maybe. Like, no, you're not all musicians. We are gifted differently. So I would like for person with disabilities to try some other genres that have not been tested. I think maybe very soon I can try and do for them a stand up as they are seated.
Kabisa. I will definitely be in the audience. So this space, navigating the space can actually really be tricky, Mox, if we just say the truth. I like what you've put across, that sometimes the papers lock some of the opportunities away for people living with disabilities. Maybe we can highlight some of the biases that are there. Number one, and the one that iko very prevalent, niyo. Kama una papers, someone doesn't go the extra mile to just see what other abilities do you have. What other challenges are there, like in a workplace?
In a workplace, I think in a workplace it will be issues with maybe the way one, the comfort that one would have as they are moving around the space, in terms of maybe just putting arranging the seat so that maybe a person like me with visual impairment can just master the environment, then I'll operate in it seamlessly. Maybe the other challenge can be like having like colleagues who are not willing, like to is it real to cooperate, or who are not the what is the word?
Actually, cooperating can be it, because I mean, the space needs for them to go out of their way to incorporate the other colleagues, who have a challenge or are able differently, to make it more cohesive.
And mostly what we usually need is just a little help or assistance. Then we can just do the other bit. Like maybe I can just call and tell you, "Ebu niangalie kitu hapa kwa laptop." This is something like that. Just that. After you've confirmed that, I can just proceed from there. But now you find you may be very unfortunate to come across one mwenye akona attitude and all that. So hadi anakumake unaanza kufikiria tena disability yako, you're like, hey, what's this?
So they should be friendlier and approach things from a different light.
If you ask me, I think you're asking the wrong person. If you ask me, I'll tell you that maybe we, as persons with disabilities, are the one who needs to adjust. Yes.
It shouldn't be the other way around though, Mox.
I feel if it starts with us, we'll be okay, because now we will determine the pace. But now when we basically an internal force then rather than an external one. Yes. Yeah.
So the attitude change should start from
we persons with disabilities should adjust our attitude. We should work on ourselves, work on ourselves, perfect if the craft we are doing. Once any human being is good at what they do, then they don't have room for maybe, I don't know, like his opinions zinatoka nje. Once you are okay. Before niseme jina ifai.
Please go ahead. Just speak up. Just speak up, because that is the platform that we have. Just speak up.
No, I was almost cursing. See, I was in the spirit. I was almost cursing, but I think imesha tu hivyo. So
Mox, again, I will say your sense of humor is like a great. Do you think that can be a talent?
I have not heard of a comic who okay. This came to a comic amesema hiyo ni. But for now, I'll say yes, Jue. It has done wonders for me. Yeah, that's what I can say. I've enjoyed a lot of latitude from that.
Okay.
Yes.
I think as we come to the tail end, the challenges and the opportunities that are there in the workplace, sometimes they just mirror what is happening at the national level, and it shows the bigger picture of how, for example, persons living with disability are considered. In your own view and your opinion, do you think there's much that is put in the facilitation of that, even at a national level? Ukiangalia tu Kenya venye tuko, like how the policies are being passed, how the laws are being made, how inclusion is being talked about. Unaiona, like how are things for us as a country?
Now, of course, with the question of inclusivity, the other day we saw our lovely Senator Crystal Asige sponsor ile bill ya PWD's Act of 2020, is it 24 or 25? Basically, the updated one from the 203 one that was done by the late president.
Yes.
So now, like, just to gauge where they are at, you can imagine the bill was passed, then immediately they were passing the what? The finance bill. The funding that was allocated for person with disabilities was chopped off.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I think that should speak to the attitude that they have towards person with disabilities.
Yeah.
They're just saying it on paper, but kwa ground, you know,
Things are different.
So, like, a person with disability with no papers, that's a tragedy in waiting. Yes.
So how can we advocate to make this space better and even safer? Because if you don't have laws and policies protecting you, tuseme tu you're unsafe.
Oh, I don't know if I want to really go that direction. Me, I just feel like my people should be equipped with skills, and those skills are going to enable them to lead a dignified life.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Because the dignity then.
Yes, actually, I think hata swali tunasumbuana hapa ni issue ya dignity. And so me, I'm saying once these people are given, once these people are trained, they have like a craft that they can work on. I think that suffices of all the challenges we are talking even about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like how you give it a 360 view. Let me say it.
That was the name of my former. When I came over to Sema Box, previously I was calling it Darkroom 360. Then I came over to Sema Box and called it AKCC. So it is interesting. It's a 360 again.
Again, it looks like we're in the same spirit. So the most important thing is that you start by working on yourself.
Yes.
You understand the value that you bring, you understand who you are, and then you work on yourself, work on your skills, work on your talents, so that as you put yourself out there, you're not, you're a person of value. And then now you bring it to, now you're accorded the dignity that you deserve. That's an amazing POV for it.
Yeah, I've had just a download. Let me put it. Let's see if I can put it this way.
Okay.
Like, of course, now I'm speaking on behalf of my people.
Yeah.
Like, don't allow people to tell who you are. You come out and tell us who you are. Peace.
Mwana Gen Z wanasema clock it. Yeah, but actually that's, and I think that cuts across all lanes of life and spheres of conversations. If you let the world, if you do not tell the world who you are, then the world will define you in ways that it knows best.
Yes.
Fantastic. I would want my audience to also connect with your audience. What is that one thing that every time the mic is on and the cameras are rolling, you want to achieve from the podcast that you already have running?
You may think initongwaje, watu entertainment wanasemanga, watu wa radio ndio wanakuanga zile za atia we do what is for entertainment and info. We want to keep you, I want to keep you entertained and informed. That's, yeah, anytime they before a mic, that's where I go.
So it's for information and entertainment. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I like the way, for me here at Speak Up Afrika, we keep on saying we bring you conversations that equip you to be informed, engaged, and empowered. Because as I operate within the civic space mostly, you realize very many people do not have access to information. And when now technology gave us the ability to host conversations like in podcasts, I was like, why not? Because I being passionate about spaces of governance, I was like, you cannot be part of policy making if you're not then informed. Exactly what you're saying. So we equip people with information and then give them tools to be able to engage.
Sure.
What are your parting shots? Number one, you kwanza you owe us a stand up as we are sitting down, and I will definitely be on the front row. But the work of advocacy, si kitu itaisha leo. It's something that you continue pressing on and on. What are your parting shots for us?
I don't know. I'm just so happy that I'm going to be listened to by by a regular audience, and maybe I would like them to listen to maybe our pleas and concerns with a sober mind, and know that we can, if given an opportunity. Let's do away with the culture of handouts. These handouts ndio zinatuletea mashida. Hadi vile sahi tuko na hii question ya third world. You see the question about those stories are handouts, I think they know where I'm going with that. I don't know, and let's just try to dignify these people
and give them what they truly rightfully deserve.
And we can okay, I think it is in the name. You see the Japanese basically in their kwa culture yao wanakuwa na hii stuff ya, if maybe something breaks down, they will try and optimize even the broken parts, so that even like the thing might end up being more productive broken than it was whole. Ni mbaya hiyo. So
Yeah.
I would like the audience to give us that opportunity to make the best of our broken parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I like that. I think honestly, before it even goes to the audience, really, and I'm going to research on it so that
Kiundani.
Exactly. Every other place I go to. But if you really think about it, Mox, it makes sense that you make something valuable out of the brokenness, that it even takes the value higher than what it is when it was a whole.
Yes.
And that's the best way. I do not want to water that down. I believe this episode has been short and sweet. And the only thing I will say, the work of advocacy to dignify people and make their spaces be of importance. The work starts with you and me. Really think about it. We go to meetings, we talk about it on social media and digital platforms, inclusivity and making inclusion and making these spaces bearable for all of us. But how true and practical is that for you as an individual, you who has listened to us today? Disability is not inability, because there's so much power in that. Thank you for listening in today. My name is Wendy Loyce. This is Speak Up Afrika. We continue to give you conversations that inform, engage, and empower. For today, we will love you and leave you. Kwaheri.